the leader here, because he's been out there for 10 deliveries, more of a batter in him than his co-batter at the other end.
Nepal chipping away towards the finish line.
When every bowler has been quite effective today, everyone except for Sandeep Lamichhane picking up a wicket. Flight it up.
There it is.
And tempting into the shot, and the shot does come out. It's going to be a maximum here. Trying to... He's picked up a maximum to his name. He's come out all guns blazing. Took a maximum to his name. He's come out all guns blazing. A maximum to his name. He's come out all guns blazing. Slap. Into the offside, and good running this. Not the cleanest of the offside, and so good running this. Not the cleanest of
Started out with Oman on top. Kalimullah's first over. That's a long ways away now, and Oman are a long ways away from trying to win this game. But Pratik Attavale, he says, I'm here to play, as he finds a boundary. Change of ends for Sandeep Lamichhane. Manali?
Yes, and not part of the run getters yet, but he picked up 3 wickets in the game against Canada yesterday. Bowled very well. Bowled very well. Cut away. It should just be 2 runs here. They've played a good game here in Nepal, haven't they?
You would have to say a complete game. That first over, Kalimullah, he was all over Anil Shah, but they battled it out through that, and since then, it's been Nepal all the way. And Sandeep Lamichhane here. There's a bit of a counterattack happening from Attavale and Rafiullah.
Well, good use of the feet this, and this has gone miles up in the air, but it just doesn't have the distance. It's going to be the 7th wicket for Oman. And Pratik Attavale, well, the charge has to come to an end here. And Sandeep Lamichhane, now part of the wicket takers with that. Every single bowler has picked up a wicket for Nepal, and it really tells a story for the way they've come out today.
Yeah, you can't fault Attavale for this. It's the right shot, the right idea. Just no execution on it. Got it really high in the air. Plenty of time for Gulshan Jah, who can do nothing wrong today whatsoever, to get nice and settled under it. And Pratik Attavale, he has to go. 15 off 14 for him. And this Oman innings, it's coming to an end quite quickly here. $95 for 7. 15.3 overs.
Well, great to see Sandeep Lamichhane back in to the wickets column. It's what he's born to do. No doubt about that. And the record he has across both white ball formats, he's so prolific with the wickets that he takes. And for Nepal, it has just been the perfect day, isn't it? Everything has gone their way. We might see a few late fireworks here from Rafiullah and maybe even Shakil Ahmed, but the game, it's heading back to Nepal. And across all three disciplines, really, they've earned this win. They've completely outplayed Oman.
Yeah, 100%. They'll take a lot of confidence out of this game. We said at early on in this match, starting with that interview with Rohit Patel, they wanted to give Nepal something to celebrate, their countrymen something to celebrate, and this is a complete performance from them.
Oh, the perfect googly and a stumping appeal. But the back foot, did it get back in? Asif Sheikh, he doesn't think so. It did look as though, certainly for a moment, he overbalanced Shakil Ahmed. How close was this?
We'll have a look here. We'll see if we can get the angle on this. Sandeep Lamachane all over Shakil Ahmed here. And you're right, Asif Sheikh, he was certain, wasn't he? He thought that was out. Disappointed not to get the call.
Probably take the replay after this ball, in between the overs. Final delivery. Lamachani again right on the money. What a good spell. And what a good over that was. He's going to finish with 1 for 20. And the score 95 for 7.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef, topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Let's get one more look at this stumping appeal. It did look close at first, didn't it? The way in which Shakil Ahmed overbalanced. Just see if we can bring it to you here. What was your initial thought?
Yeah, it certainly did, and it's going to be impossible to tell from our angle that back foot does slide across. Really, really hard to tell from that angle.
We don't have the square on angle here. We cameras in place, but certainly that did look close, didn't it? Karen Casey in for his third over. One thing he's done noticeably well is kind of bowl quite a heavy ball into the surface, isn't he? Unlike some of the seamers from Nepal this week, he's kind of probably been the pick of them alongside Gulshan Jha.
Yeah, certainly. He's been around for quite a while, hasn't he? I think Canadian fans will remember him for his batting more than his bowling. We won't recall that too much, but he's done a job with the ball here for his side. And I was just standing by him in the field, Lenny, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. He was so happy today. That's what we want to see from Nepal. Happy with their cricket. And this today was, as we mentioned, a complete performance. Bring a lot of smiles to the Nepali fans and the players.
Yeah, it's going to mean the world, isn't it, to everyone back home in Nepal and the diaspora around the world. This is going to be another wicket. It's all too easy today for Nepal. They have been inspired, haven't they, in everything they've done. Karen Casey bangs it into the surface. It's a simple catch for Dev Canal. A backward point. Oman are being blown away.
Funny, this is all coming to an end quite quickly here, and you can see a little bit of a jump from Kushal Mala, and they're up and around.
They're back.
Look at how much fun they're having.
They are back, baby. Nepal are back. You can see it quite clearly. The buzz is back. And I'll tell you something, Canada, they're going to have to watch out in a few days' time.
Lenny, you're a little extra peppy here. And I can tell there's two of your countries are about to have a great day.
Well, I'll tell you something. In sport, we get used to heartbreak being Irish. We're a small little country. And we lose more games than we win, particularly in cricket. And then obviously my adopted nation, Nepal, very much follow their fortunes and how they go. Ireland about to maybe close it out in Abu Dhabi. South Africa need 18 to win off the final 6. And Nepal are definitely going to close it out here. But it's just the joy that Nepal bring and seeing that come back. It's so important. And what a time to do it. Coming on the back of the most horrendous 48 hours for the nation back in Nepal. The worst floods in 85 years. Historic, once in a lifetime floods that have not just washed away much of the capital city and the districts around it. You think of the beauty of Lalipur, the most stunning suburbs, and you can see plenty of the players wearing black armbands to commemorate those that have been lost. Hundreds of lives lost, and the sad news, Arsalan, is that actually a lot of the kind of more rural areas there isn't word from yet. As this is going to be edged away for 4. No control over where that was going, but Rafaela continues to swing merrily. And the worry is without having reports of, what is to come in from the more rural regions, and I've seen some of the visuals, really scary stuff. So sport isn't everything in life, it never has been, but very much the national identity rides on the fortunes of the cricket team, and I think there's going to be a lot of joy for people waking up tomorrow morning across Nepal.
Yeah, certainly, and I think it's one of the things, the flooding in Pakistan a couple of years ago, it's happening around India as well. That region has been hit hard with floods over the past couple of years. And sport is one of those things, you start to forget about it, just even for a moment, a glimpse into normality. And that's all you can really ask for. And Nepal here providing for their fans. It's been a brilliant day of cricket for them. And they want to end on a high.
Well, 3 overs remain after this one. Ahmed Faiz Butt is now out there in the middle with Rafiullah. And he can swing a lusty blow or two as well. What a spectacular diving effort from Kushal Patel. He's so good in the outfield. Couldn't cut this one off though, so it'll be a boundary to round out KC's third. Just a little bit of late joy, no more than that for Oman. It's 106 for 8. So Nepal are probably going to go top of the table at the end of today's contest. You'd imagine they're going to win by significantly more than the 14-run margin that the hosts prevailed by yesterday. It's a short and sharp, intense series, isn't it, the Snow Frills T20 Cup? What do you expect tomorrow for Canada versus Oman? Could be very difficult for Oman to bounce back with the two T20s in 2 days.
Yeah, certainly. And they'll want a repeat of what Nepal did today, really. Nepal, they had to bounce back after yesterday. Oman's going to have to bounce back tomorrow. But you got to say, that decision to bring Gulshan Jah back in for this game. It's looked like a genius, Monty Desai, hasn't he? With that decision.
It's proved a huge difference, isn't it? Rijan Dakal is going to be pumped down the ground. Now, Rafiullah, I'll tell you something, he can swing lusty blows. He's got to 20 off just 7 balls. It might be too little too late to win the game, but this is showing why he's come into the team for the T20 format.
Yeah, have a look at this. What a strong man. He's not trying to get in line with that ball whatsoever, just freeing up his arms, Rafiullah. Didn't have the best day with the ball, but he can swing a few lusty blows. We heard Matt Bonner talking about moral victories.
65 off 17. Rafiullah is just going to keep going. Now, I don't think he's got this one, but it's going to fall, well, remarkably in between two fielders. Now, not the greatest piece of running from the two batters who got caught watching the ball a touch. They needed to get Rafiullah back on strike. Instead, it's only a single, and that's a handy moral victory for Rijan Dakal.
Moral victories. You're part of the region. I'm not going to say, but your neighbors know moral victories quite well.
Well, certainly plenty of talk of that during the Ashes, wasn't there? England versus Australia. Kind of actually got a little bit about what they were talking about. I do think they've rejuvenated the Test game in many ways, and I think anything that's good for cricket, I'm always happy to get behind, although Australia didn't quite see it that way. Faiz Butt knows his role. Get Rafiullah on strike and see what he can do. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's a case of wholesale changes required for Oman, but you do wonder, if you look at Namibia, if you look at the Netherlands, you look at Scotland, you even look at Canada, the way in which they brought in Anju Patel, and USA with Saiteja Mukamala. You have to promote your youth and give them a chance to get in at some point in the cycle. Because in the last cycle, I understood for Oman, every game felt like a must-win. And I know you're somewhat in that position in this cycle. Again, they've got off to a horrible start in Cricket World Cup League 2. Could be in danger of losing their ODI status if they don't get things together quite quickly. But surely in these T20s, it was an opportunity to maybe blood. Why not throw in 2 or 3 of the kids from the under-19s?
Yeah, certainly. I was just going to ask you about this. Is where are the youngsters from Oman? We see them from every other country. We see them for Canada. Ansh Mattel, you mentioned. Akil Kumar, another one coming up from that setup. Oman, you see the likes of Gulshan Jah, the bowler that we have right now that's bowling into Rafiullah.
Well, I think the reality is that Oman have historically relied an awful lot upon players who are immigrants into the country who either have come for work or for cricket. As Rafiullah gets the long handle out, he's taking a liking, isn't he, to Rijan Dakal. That one nearly goes all the way to Dufferin Street. The second 6 of the over. Some fight being shown by Oman thanks to that man, number 20 on his back, Rafiullah.
Shout from behind the box here, Lenny with Sia. And that ball was definitely out of here. There's no doubt about that one. He's a big, strong man, Rafiullah. And you can see that sign, Seneca College King Campus. That ball was well on its way there, just about to make that left turn on that straight. We might lose Lenny here for a few seconds, folks. He's got to rejoice. Ireland have just beaten South Africa by 10 runs. Lenny, what is going on, my friend? How are you feeling?
Hallelujah. My heart, I tell you, particularly through that World Cup, I was advocating all 9 of those associate sides. Rafiullah goes bang, bang, 6-6. That one might be even bigger. And it's the biggest over of the chase. 20 have come from it. And Rafiullah gets a big punch of the gloves. Oman just hanging about. It's 51 needed off 12. It's very unlikely, but something to work with. 126 for 8.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Well, 2 overs remain. You can never say never in T20 international cricket. And Nepal just having a little bit of the gloss taken off their performance thanks to a massive over. 20 have come from it. And mainly thanks to the bat of Rafiullah. 3 sixes, 3 really good strikes, Arsenal.
Yeah, certainly. And a little bit of inexperience for Dakal there. Just doesn't have the pace to challenge you with that length. A lot of those off-cutters, but they're just coming onto the bat. Rafiullah, he's just waiting for him, waiting on that back foot. But Karan Casey, he's a seasoned campaigner. He's going to just look to put this game away in this penultimate over. Just put it completely out of reach.
Yeah, just need to be clever. Cardiac kids, that's what Nepal are known as. Don't think the heart pressure should be getting too high, or should it? Because it's going to be 6 more. Well, surely not. Surely not. They're coming back from the depths of hell here. Oh, man. And they're just making it interesting. It's another maximum. This time it's the Fayaz Butt.
Lenny, how's your heart feeling? The amount of Nepal games you do, the cardiac kids, just put it out of reach. Not today, says Fayaz Butt, as he pumps this one down the ground. Another 6 runs. 4 sixes off the last 7 deliveries, Lenny.
Death bowling has been a concern. Big shout out to Jeremy up there. Thank you, sir. Working hard up there. He's a happy South African rugby fan. Hard luck in the cricket, mate. You can cry your tears out there. Yeah, this one's hacked into the leg side. Going to be 4 more. I'm not sure about this field. You've got to have deep mid-wicket out. And instead it's back-to-back boundaries. Nepal, you just need to get it back together. It's 41 to win off 10 now.
It's just length, isn't it? Just not the right length to be bowling at this stage, Karan Casey. He's got to get it right. He's got to get it right. And you see the change right there. Going to come around the wicket.
Just some old habits, some difficulties at the death are coming back here to haunt Nepal. It might not be fatal yet, but Oman are somehow still in this contest. Still very unlikely. 41 to win off 10. He does get the block hole this time. It'll be 40 off 9, and you'd think that Rafiullah is probably going to need 3 boundaries from these 3 deliveries. Can Karan KC, can he hold his nerve, the Valentine's Day boy?
Improbable, but not impossible, is it, Lenny? And Rafiullah, he's 33 off 11 deliveries.
Just cannot get my head around why Dipender Singh Uri has only bowled 2 overs. 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 2, and he's brilliant at the death.
It's just a case of overthinking it with the right-handers. We talked about this a little bit earlier, Lenny. He's not a typical off spinner, so it's not a matchup that you would favor him just bowling to left-handers. He's very, very accurate. Has the ability to just get the ball going around with the arm. Natural variation for him as well. Very tough bowler to get away.
Edged and taken. It's a really good catch. Third is up in the circle. And he's gone diving to his left, just trying to get a sight of who it is. There's a big smile on the face of all people, Sandeep Lamachani. Might not be the very strongest fielder in this Nepal 11, but a little bit like Kaleem Sana yesterday, diving to his left. Lamachani takes the catch. That should ice this game.
Raffiola, he looked threatening. He was out there for quite a while and looked to take this game, but just Q ended it. And it's a brilliant catch. There was enough pace on that delivery. Flew off the bat, but Sandeep just plucks us out of thin air. Raffiola, look at the disappointment. He throws his head back. Just doesn't believe it, does he, Lenny?
Well, a spectacular catch to end the innings of Raffiola. Credit to him. He's played really, really well, hasn't he? But he's got to go for 33. And now Nepal are on the brink. It's 137 for 9.
Last man in, Kalimullah. They've got 8 deliveries, Lenny. 8 deliveries to pull off the improbable. Still 41 runs to go.
Well, it wouldn't be Nepal if there wasn't a twist or a turn or a wobble, or maybe just a raising of the pulse rate, a raising of the hearts across the nation. But they're one good ball away now. And it might be fitting if Karen KC would be the one that would do it. Yeah, look, I have to agree with you, Arslan, that the modern myth of matchups, for me, your best bowler is still your best bowler, whether or not the matchup is in theory against him. And Dipender Singh Airi, in this format, he should be bowling 4 overs every single game.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see Gulshan Jha with the ball, and I think that's the overs of Dipender Singh Airi that went to Gulshan Jha, the 2 overs that he's bowled. Sometimes we tend to overthink it sometimes. It's just, let's keep it simple. He's one of our better bowlers.
Maybe Rohit Paudil's punishing him. He says, you cannot drop a catch, Dipender Singh Airi. I'm going to send you out. You're going to be done for eternity. That'll be a wide too short. I'm outcasting you. You drop a catch on me, Dippy, you're gone.
They're having fun out there, aren't they, in Nepal? And it's those things that when you win a game, you can laugh at them in the end. For somebody like Fayaz Butt and Khalid Kale, they'll rue their chances.